I'm sure you all agree that machine learning is one of the hottest trend in today's market, right? Gartner predicts that by 2022 there would be at least 40% of new application development projects going on in the market that would be requiring machine learning code developers on their team. It's expected that these projects will generate a revenue of around $3.9 trillion. Isn't it huge? So, looking at the huge upcoming demand of machine learning around the world, we guys have come up and designed a well structured machine learning full course for you guys. Well, this course has been designed in a way that you get the most out of it. So we will slowly and gradually start with the beginner level and then move towards the advanced topic. Without delaying any further, let's start with the agenda of today's session. On machine learning course has been generated into 6 different modules. We'll start our first module with Introduction to Machine Learning. Here we will discuss things like what exactly is machine learning, how it differs from artificial intelligence and deep learning, what is various types, what its various application, and finally we will end up first module with a basic demo in Python. Our second module focuses on stats and probability. Here we'll cover things like descriptive statistics and inferential statistics, probability theory, and so on. Our third module is on supervised learning. Well, supervised learning is one of a type of machine learning which focuses mainly on regression and classification types of problem. It deals with labeled datasets and the algorithm, which are a part of it are linear regression, logistic regression, Napier's, random forest, decision tree, and so on. Our fourth module is on unsupervised learning. Well, this module focuses mainly on dealing with unlabeled datasets and the algorithm, which are a part of it are K-mean algorithm and priori algorithm. As a part of fifth module, we have reinforcement learning. Here we will going to discuss about reinforcement learning and depth on also about Q-learning algorithm. Finally, in the end, it's all about to make you industry ready. Okay. So here we are going to discuss about 3 different projects which are based on supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Finally, in the end, I will tell you about some of the skills that you need to become a machine learning engineer. And also I am discussing about some of the important questions that are asked in machine learning interview. Fine. With this, we are come to the end for of this agenda. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's session on what is machine learning. As you know, we are living in a world of humans and machines. Humans have been evolving and learning from the past experience since millions of years. On the other hand, the era of machines and robots has just begun. In today's world, these machines are the rewards are like they need to be programmed before they actually follow your instructions. But what if the machine started to learn on their own? And this is where machine learning comes into picture. Machine learning is the core of many futuristic technology advancement in our world. And today you can see various examples of implementation of machine learning around us, such as Tesla's self-driving car, Apple Siri, Sophia AI robot, and many more are there. So, what exactly is machine learning? Well, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. It focuses mainly on the designing of the systems, thereby allowing them to learn and make predictions based on some experience, which is data in case of machines. Machine learning enables computer to act and make data-driven decisions rather than being explicitly programmed to carry out a certain task. These programs are designed to learn and improve over time when exposed to new data. Let's move on and discuss one of the biggest confusion of the people in the world. They think that all the three of them, the AI, the ML, and the deep learning, all are the same. You know what? They are wrong. Let me clarify things for you. Artificial intelligence is a broader concept of machines being able to carry out tasks in a smarter way. It covers anything which enables the computer to behave like humans. Think of a famous Turing test to determine whether a computer is capable of thinking like a human being or not. If you are talking to Siri on your phone and you get an answer, you are already very close to it. So this was about the artificial intelligence. Now coming to the machine learning part. So as I already said, machine learning is a subset of or a current application of AI. It is based on the idea that we should be able to give machine the access to the data and let them learn from themselves. It's a subset of artificial intelligence that deals with the extraction of pattern from data set. This means that machine can not only find the rules for optimal behavior but also can adapt to the changes in the world. Many of the algorithms involved have been known for decades, centuries, and even thanks to the advances in the computer science and parallel computing. They can now scale up to massive data volumes. So this was about the machine learning part. Now coming over to deep learning. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning where similar machine learning algorithms are used to train deep neural network so as to achieve better accuracy in those cases where former was not performing up to the mark. Right? I hope. Now you understand the machine learning, AI and deep learning. All three are different. Moving on and let's see in general how machine learning works. One of the approaches where the machine learning algorithm is trained using a labeled or unlabeled training data set to produce a model. New input data is introduced to the machine learning algorithm and it makes prediction based on the model. The prediction is evaluated for accuracy and if the accuracy is acceptable, the machine learning algorithm is deployed. Now, if the accuracy is not acceptable, the machine learning algorithm is trained again and again with an augmented training data set. This was just in high level example as there are many more factors and other steps involved in it. Now let's move on and subcategorize the machine learning into three different types. First one is supervised machine learning, second one unsupervised machine learning, and third one is reinforcement machine learning. And let's see what each of them are, how they work, and how each of them is used in field of banking, healthcare, retail, and other domains. So don't worry guys, I will make sure that I use enough examples and implementation of all three of them to give you a proper understanding of it. So starting with supervised learning, what is it? So let's see a mathematical definition of supervised learning. Supervised learning is where you have input variable x and output variable y and you use an algorithm to learn the mapping function from the input to output, that is y equal to fx. The goal is to approximate the mapping function so well that whenever you have a new input data x, you could predict the output variable that is y for the data. Right? I think this was confusing for you. Let me simplify the definition of supervised learning. So we can rephrase the understanding of the mathematical definition as a machine learning model, where each instances of a training dataset is composed of different input attribute and an expected output. The input attributes of a training dataset can be of any kind of data. It can be a pixel of image, it can be a value of a database row, or it can even be an audio frequency histogram. Right? For each input instance and expected output values associated value can be discrete representing a category or can be a real or continuous value. In either case, the algorithm learns the input pattern that generate the expected output. Now, once the algorithm is trained, it can be used to predict the correct output of a never seen input. You can see an image on your screen, right? In this image, you can see that we are feeding raw inputs as image of apple to the algorithm. As a part of algorithm, we have a supervisor who keeps on correcting the machine or who keeps on training the machine. It keeps on telling him that yes, it is an output, it is an apple, or no, it's not an apple, things like that. So this process keeps on repeating until we get a final trained model. Once the model is ready, it can easily predict the correct output of a never seen input. In this slide, you can see that we are giving an image of red apple to the machine and the machine can easily identify it is an apple. No, it is giving the correct result, right? Okay. Let me make things more clear to you. Let's discuss another example of it. So in this slide, the image shows an example of supervised learning process used to produce a model which is capable of recognizing the ducks in the image. The training dataset is composed of labeled picture of ducks and non-ducks. The result of supervised learning process is a predictor model which is capable of associating a labeled duck or not duck to the new image presented to the model. Now, one strain, the resulting predictive model can be deployed to the production environment. You can see a mobile app, for example, once deployed, it is ready to recognize the new picture, right? Now you might be wondering why this category of machine learning is named as supervised learning. Well, it is called supervised learning because the process of algorithm learning from the training dataset can be thought as a teacher supervising the learning process. If we know the correct answer, the algorithm iteratively makes while predicting other training data. And this is corrected by the teacher and the learning stops when the algorithm achieves an acceptable level of performance. Now let's move on and see some of the popular supervised learning algorithm. So we have linear regression, random forest, super vector machines. These are just for your information. We will discuss about later. Now let's see some of the popular use cases of the supervised learning. So we have Cortana. Cortana or any other speech automation in your mobile phone, train using your voice. And once train is start working based on the training, this is an application of supervised learning. Suppose you are telling, okay Google, call Jenny, or you say, hey Siri, call Jenny. You get an answer to it and action is performed and automatically a call goes to Jenny. So these are the examples of supervised learning. Next, come to the weather app. Based on some of your prior knowledge, like when it is sunny, the temperature is higher. When it is cloudy, humidity is higher. Any kind of that. They predict the parameter for a given time. So this is also an example of supervised learning. As we are feeding the data to the machine and telling that whenever it is sunny, the temperature should be higher. Whenever it is cloudy, the humidity should be higher. So it's an example of supervised learning. Another example is biometric attendance, where you train the machine and after a couple of inputs of your biometric identity, be it your thumb, your iris or anything. Once trained, the machine can validate your visual input and it can identify you. Well, next come in the field of banking sector. In banking sector, supervised learning is used to predict the credit worthiness of a credit card holder by building a machine learning model to look for faulty attributes by providing it with a data on delinquent or non-delinquent customers. Well, next come the healthcare sector. In healthcare sector, it is used to predict the patient's readmission rates by building a regression model by providing data on the patient's treatment administration and readmissions to show variable that best correlate with readmission. Next comes the retail sector. In retail sector, it is used to analyze the product that a customer buy together. It does this by building a supervised model to identify frequent item set and association rule from the transaction data. Right? Now let's learn about the next category of machine learning, the supervised part. Mathematically, unsupervised learning is where you only have input data x and no corresponding output variable. The goal for supervised learning is to model the underlying structure or distribution in the data in order to learn more about the data. So let me rephrase you. This is simple. This in simple terms. In unsupervised approach, the data instance of a training dataset do not have an expected output associated to them. Instead, unsupervised learning algorithm detects pattern based on its characteristics of the input data. An example of machine learning task that applies unsupervised learning is clustering. In this task, similar data instances are grouped together in order to identify clusters of data. In this slide, you can see that initially we have different varieties of fruit as input. Now this set of fruits are input X are given to the model. Now what is the model is trained using unsupervised learning algorithm. The model will create clusters on the basis of its training. It will group the similar fruits and make their cluster. Let me make things more clear to you. Let's take another example of it. So in this slide, the image below shows an example of unsupervised learning process. This algorithm processes an unlabeled training dataset and based on characteristics, it groups the picture into three different clusters of data. Despite the ability of grouping similar data into clusters, the algorithm is not capable to add labels to the row. The algo only knows which data instances are similar, but it cannot identify the meaning of this group. So now you might be wondering why this category of machine learning is named as unsupervised learning. So these are called as unsupervised learning because unlike supervised learning there are no correct answer and there is no teacher. Algorithms are left on to discover and present the interesting structure in data, right? Let's move on and see some of the popular unsupervised learning algorithms. So we have here Apereo algorithm, K-mean algorithm, and hierarchical clustering. Now let's move on and see some of the examples of unsupervised learning. Suppose a friend invites you to his birthday party and where you meet totally strangers. Now you will classify them using unsupervised learning as you don't have prior knowledge about them, and this classification can be done on the basis of gender, age group, dressing, education qualification, or whatever way you might like. Now, why this learning is different from supervised learning? Since you didn't use any part of prior knowledge about the people, you kept on classifying them on the go. As they kept on coming, you kept on classifying you. Well, yeah, this category of people belong to that group and so on. Right? Let's move on and see how unsupervised learning is used in the banking sector, healthcare sector, and retail sector. So start with banking sector. So in banking sector, it is used to segment customers by behavioral characteristics by surveying prospects and customers to develop multiple segments using clustering, right? In healthcare, it is used to categorize MRI data by normal or abnormal images. It uses deep learning technique to build a model that learns from different features of images to recognize a different pattern, right? Next is the retail sector. In retail sector, it is used to recommend the products to customer based on their past purchases. It does this by building a collaborative filtering model based on the past purchases by them. So I assume you guys now have a proper idea of what unsupervised learning means. So let's discuss the third and the last type of machine learning, that is a reinforcement learning. So what is reinforcement learning? Well, reinforcement learning is a type of machine learning algorithm which allows software agent and the machine to automatically determine the ideal behavior within a specific context to maximize its performance. Reinforcement learning is about interaction between two elements, the environment and the learning agent. The learning agent leverages two mechanisms, namely exploration and exploitation. When learning agent acts on trial and error basis, it is termed as exploration, and when it acts based on the knowledge gained from the environment, it is referred to as exploitation. Now, this environment rewards the agent for correct action, which reinforcement signal. Leveraging the rewards obtained, the agent improves its environment knowledge to select the next action. In this image, you can see that the machine is confused whether it is an apple or it's not an apple. Then the machine it's chain using the reinforcement learning. If it make correct decision, it get reward point for it, and in case of wrong, it get a penalty for that. Once the training is done, now the machine can easily identify which one of them is an apple, right? Now let's see an example here. We can see that we have an agent who has to judge from the environment to find out which of the two is a duck. The first task it did is to observe the environment. Next, we select some action using some policy. It seems that machine has made a wrong decision by choosing a bunny as a duck. So machine will get a penalty for that. For example, minus 50 point for a wrong answer, right? Now the machine will update its policy, and this will continue till the machine gets an optimal policy. From the next time, machine will know that bunny is not a duck. Let's see some of the use cases of reinforcement learning. But before that, let's see how Pavlov trained his dog using reinforcement learning, or how he applied the reinforcement method to train his dog. Pavlov integrated learning in four stages. Initially, Pavlov gave meat to his dog, and in response to the meat, the dog started salivating. Next, what he did, he created a sound to the bell. For this, the dog did not respond anything. In the third part, it tries to condition the dog by using the bell and then giving him the food. Seeing the food, the dog start salivating. Eventually, a situation came when the dog started salivating just after hearing the bell, even if the food was not given to him. As the dog was reinforced that whenever the master will ring the bell, he will get the more food. Now let's move on and see how reinforcement learning is applied in the field of banking, healthcare, and retail sector. So starting with the banking sector, In banking sector, reinforcement learning is used to create a next best offer model for a call center by building a predictive model that learns over time as user accept or reject offer made by the sales staff. Fine. Now in the healthcare sector, it is used to allocate the scarce medical resource to handle different types of ER cases by building a mark of decision process that learns treatment strategy for each type of ER cases. Right? Next and the last comes in retail sector. So let's see how reinforcement learning is applied to retail sector. In retail sector, it can be used to reduce excess stock with dynamic pricing. By building a dynamic pricing model that adjusts the price based on customer response to the offer, right? I hope by now you have attained some understanding of what is machine learning and you are ready to move ahead. If you have any slightest doubt, don't hesitate and add your doubt to the comment section. Thank you so much, guys. See ya later.